बिहारी लाल की जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। ध्यानमूलं गुरोर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरोर्पदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरोर्वाक्यम् भक्तिमूलं गुरोर्कृपा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर् गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे। रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमू रामाय तस्मै नमः। रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम्। रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर। नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण। यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहीणोति तस्मै तग्वंहा देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Dear devotees of God, we'll be singing from Book 1, page 123. Page 123, Book 1, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम।
करे योगी रमण याते तेरो नाम राम।
करे योगी रमण याते तेरो नाम राम।
याते तेरो नाम राम।
याते तेरो नाम राम।
करे योगी रमन याते तेरो नाम राम।
करे योगी रमण याते तेरो नाम राम।
करे योगी रमन याते तेरो नाम राम।
करे योगी रमण याते तेरो नाम राम।
करे योगी रमन याते तेरो नाम राम।
करे योगी रमण याते तेरो नाम राम।
जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम।
जय जय राम, जय जय राम,
जय जय राम, जय जय राम।
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम।
जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम।
जाते जग जामे जग, जो है जग सोई राम।
याते जग जामे जग, जो है जग सोई राम।
जो है जग सोई राम।
जो है जग सोई राम।
जाते जग जामे जग, जो है जग सोई राम।
जाते जग जामे जग, जो है जग सोई राम।
जाते जग जामे जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम।
मैं हूँ पतित पतित पावन तुम 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 राम।
जय जय राम जय जय राम
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 जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय
जय जय राम
जय जय राम
बिनु कारण करुणा कर तुम राम।
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 जय जय जुग जुग जिए जोरी सीताराम।
जय जय जुग जुग जिए जोरी सीताराम।
जोरी सीताराम।
जोरी सीताराम।
जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम।
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम।
जय जय राम जय जय राम।
जय जय राम।
Everyone please clap and
जय
sing.
जय राम।
जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम।
जय जय पूर्ण काम सुख धाम सीताराम।
जय जय पूर्ण काम धाम सीताराम।
जय जय 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 पूर्ण काम सुख धाम सीताराम।
जय जय पूर्ण काम सुख धाम सीताराम।
जय जय ओ जय जय पूर्ण काम सुख धाम सीताराम।
जय जय पूर्ण काम सुख धाम सीताराम।
जय जय राम। जय जय राम।
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 जय जय राम। जय जय राम। जय जय राम। जय जय राम।
जय जय राम। जय जय राम। जय जय राम। जय जय राम।
जय जय हमरी हूँ सुधीलो सीताराम।
जय जय हमरी हो सुधीलो सीताराम।
जय जय हमरी हूँ सुधीलो सीताराम।
जय जय हमरी हो सुधीलो सीताराम।
जय जय सीताराम।
जय जय सीताराम।
टुक है रहु मोढ़िग सीताराम।
टुक हेरहु मोढ़िग सीताराम।
जय जय राम। जय जय राम।
जय जय राम। जय जय राम।
जय जय राम। जय जय राम। जय जय राम। जय जय राम।
जय जय राम। जय जय राम। जय जय राम। जय जय राम।
ओ तुम हो कृपालु जय सीताराम।
तुम हो कृपालु जय सीताराम।
जय सीताराम।
जय सीताराम।
जय सीताराम।
जय सीताराम।
जय जय सीताराम। जय जय सीताराम।
जय जय सीताराम। जय जय सीताराम।
जय जय राम। जय जय राम।
जय जय राम। जय जय राम।
जय 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 राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
Please turn the page 124. पृष्ठ संख्या है 124. Top of the page. त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम, द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम. Jagat Guruttam Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj, my Gurudev, he explains in these few verses, beautiful verses, that the one who had descended to earth in the age of Treta is known as Ram, and the same Ram descends to earth towards the end of Dwapar age, and he is known as Shyam or Shyam Sundar, Krishna. Less echo, please. It's too much echo. Devi. Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. And when I say Treta me, you'll kindly raise your arm, say Ram, like that. We'll do 3 times. Treta me joy बनी आए राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
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 त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
त्रेता में सीता बने राम,
त्रेता में सीता बने राम,
द्वापर में श्यामा बने श्याम,
द्वापर में श्यामा बने श्याम,
त्रेता में सुधो मुकुट राम,
त्रेता में सुधो मुकुट राम,
द्वापर में टेढ़ो मुकुट श्याम,
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 त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
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 त्रेता में अति गंभीर राम,
त्रेता में अति गंभीर राम,
द्वापर में अतिशय चपल श्याम,
द्वापर में अतिशय चपल श्याम,
त्रेता में सीता सेव्य राम,
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 द्वापर में श्यामा दास श्याम,
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 त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए श्याम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
त्रेता में सीता सेव्य राम,
त्रेता में सीता सेव्य राम,
द्वापर में श्यामा दास श्याम,
द्वापर में श्यामा दास श्याम,
त्रेता में लक्ष्मण भ्रात राम,
त्रेता में लक्ष्मण भ्रात राम,
द्वापर में दाऊ भ्रात श्याम,
द्वापर में दाऊ भ्रात श्याम,
त्रेता में आए अवध राम,
त्रेता में आए अवध राम,
द्वापर में आए ब्रज धाम श्याम,
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 त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए राम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी, द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
त्रेता में धारे धनुष राम,
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 द्वापर में द्वापर में धारे मुरली श्याम,
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 त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए 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 राम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
त्रेता में दो पूर्ण काम है श्याम राम,
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 दो है कृपालु एक राम श्याम,
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 त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में
राम,
त्रेता में जोई बनी आए 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 राम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम,
द्वापर में सोई बनी आए श्याम।
बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। बोलिए साकेत बिहारी भगवान श्री रामचंद्र की
जय।
श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। Devotional listeners, now I humbly request your full attention as I continue with the topic of Ram and Ramayan. May I request that you check your cell phone to make sure that it will not ring during the discourse. Thank you. In the previous lecture, I was speaking about the divine teacher known as the Guru. The word Guru means one who destroys ignorance and gives knowledge. The knowledge of God, the knowledge of the self, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of our relationship with God. And in the Ramayan, it is said that Bhagwan Sri Ram is like the ocean and the Guru is like the clouds. Ram Sindhu Ghan Sajjan Dhira Chandan Taru Hari Sant Samira. Bhagwan Sri Ram is like an ocean. An ocean seems like a limitless reservoir of water. There's so much water in the ocean, but that ocean water is salty. So it is of no use to us. Here's where the clouds come in. They absorb the water, salty water, sweeten it, and provide it for us in the form of rain. Now we can drink the water and use it for many purposes. We are, no doubt, extremely grateful to the ocean. We are eternally grateful to the Supreme Lord, but we are even more grateful to the clouds. We are even more grateful to the Guru. Why? Because God does not give His knowledge directly to anyone. Never has God given His knowledge directly to anyone. He always gives it through the Guru. God says, go to the Guru and he will teach you about me. Go to the Guru, he will answer your questions. And when God, if we say, I want to hear it from God himself, God says, when I come down to earth, you don't recognize me. We don't recognize Bhagwan when he comes down to earth. We think him to be an ordinary person. And it is possible that we think of him, we denounce him as someone who is extremely worldly because of his pastimes, his leelas, that he uses with his divine power called Yogamaya. So God says to his pure devotees, you go down to earth and help my wayward children, bring them back to me. So a devotee says to Sri Krishna, my Lord, Bhagwan, I am a lost cow. I have come away from the herd. I have gotten lost. So you are a cow herd. So come in and take care of me and bring me back into the fold. Main khoi gaiya teri. I am a cow that was lost. I am a lost soul. I have come away from you, my source. So God says, I shall do that, but I will do it through the Guru. This is why scriptures say that God and Guru are equal, because the Guru has the same powers as God. But they also say that, and the Ramayan itself says, that More man prabhu as vishwasa, Ram te adhik Ram kar dasa. That the Guru is even greater than God. From the point of view of fulfilling our self-interest, Guru is even greater than God. Bhagwan does not give us his knowledge directly. He does not answer our questions directly. God does not answer our confusions and resolve them. Guru does all that. Guru is the one who does all the work. And this is why it is even said by scriptures, such as the Ramayan, that Guru is greater than God. So it is the Guru that we look towards to give us knowledge. We can read the Ramayan, and it's wonderful to do that from the point of view of listening to and reading the divine story of Bhagwan Sri Ram. But when it comes to the knowledge of the Ramayan, we cannot understand it by ourselves. We need to submit ourselves to a Guru. We must have a submissive mind, and we must learn what the Ramayan says from a Guru. When it comes to forming a relationship with God, what does the Guru tell us? This was the point where I left you last time. What does the Guru tell us about forming a relationship with God, or how to attain God? What does the Guru say? Well, the Guru lays great emphasis on the name of God. Guru says to the disciple, take the name of God. Bhagwan ka naam lo. Bhagwan ka naam hamesha lena chahiye. You must always take the name of God. Surrender to the name of God. Chant the name of God. Love the name of God. The Ramayan says, Kahan kahan lagi naam badhai, Ram na sakahi naam gun gai. Even the Supreme Lord Bhagwan Sri Ram does not know in full the glory of his name. The glory of his name is unlimited. Even Bhagwan Ram does not know it. It is explained in the Ramayan, and therefore what I mean to say is that the Guru will bring this out from the Ramayan. This knowledge will be extracted from the Ramayan. It will be told to the disciple that, listen, you are living in Kali Yuga, the age of Kali. For you, this method of chanting the name of God is recommended. Our scriptures divide time into 4 yuga or ages or eras. Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. And there's an eternal cycle of these 4 ages. Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, so on and so forth. It goes on and on forever and ever. So for Satyug, there is a specific method that the Guru tells a disciple about. Krita Yuga is another name for Satyug. So the Ramayan says, Krita Yuga sab gyani vigyani. Krita Yuga sab yogi vigyani. Kari hari dhyan tarahi bhav prani. Treta vividh yagya nar karahi. Prabhu hi samarpi karma bhav tarahi. Dwapar kari raghupati pad puja. Nar bhav tariya upaya na duja. Kali jug keval hari gun gaha. Gavat nar pavat bhav thaha. In Satyug, the Guru would recommend that the disciple should just close his eyes and sit in meditation, and he would be able to think about God. Because the minds of people in Satyug are extremely pure, very godly. Then came Treta Yuga, and the method prescribed by the scriptures and therefore prescribed by the Guru was now different. Treta vividha yagya nar karahi. In the age of Treta, the Guru tells a disciple, you must focus the mind on God with the help of yagyas, what we call havan these days, the fire sacrifices. You have the fire and then you recite some mantras, then you offer oblation, some very fragrant things into the fire, the havan. But then came Dwapar Yuga, and the mind was now not so pure. And so now the method also changed. Now the Guru would tell the disciple of Dwapar Yuga, you must do ritualistic puja. You must worship ritualistically. That will get your mind thinking about God. And then came Kali Yuga. Now the mind is extremely worldly. So worldly that while we sit in the house of worship, our mind is very capable of thinking very worldly thoughts. The mind is extremely worldly. We fail to realize how deep the roots of worldliness go. So the strongest method and the easiest method, most effective method is recommended for this age, the age of Kali Yuga. And that is, simply chant the name of God. And you will unite the mind with God. But our logical mind says, that sounds too simplistic. I just chant the name of God and God will come into my mind. How is that possible? Then it is told by the Ramayan and other scriptures that we must chant the name of God with love. We must lovingly utter the name of God. We must do bhajans and we must sing bhajans, devotional songs, and kirtans, devotional chants, but with a lot of love in the heart. Because as the Ramayan says, and as the Guru explains to the disciple, Ram hi keval prem pyara. राम ही केवल प्रेम प्यारा, भगवान राम को प्रेम से प्रेम है, प्यार से प्यार करते हैं वो। तो जब उनका नाम लो तो प्यार से लो, उनका ध्यान करते हुए उनका नाम लो तो भगवान मिल जाएंगे। So then it is explained by the Guru, look, take the name of God, but at the same time, think of God. Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, the fifth original Jagat Guru and declared to be the best of all Jagat Gurus of Kali Yuga, he has said, he has coined the term Roop Dhyan. When you take the name of God, for instance, we are saying Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram. We are chanting the names of Sita and Ram. At the same time, we must envision, we must visualize what Sita Ram look like. What does Bhagwan Sri Ram look like? Let me use my imagination. What does Mother Sita look like? I shall use my imagination, and in my imagination, I shall fill lots of devotional, very loving devotional thoughts, sentiments. I will create many pastimes that Bhagwan Sri Sita Ram are performing in my mind. And now the chanting of God's name will bear the desired fruit. We will be able to think about God, we will get the godly benefit. The name of God is so powerful that, as the Ramayan says, राम भालु कपि कटक बटोरा, सेतु हेतु श्रम कीन्ह न थोरा, नाम लेत भव सिंधु सुखाही, करहु विचार सुजन मन माही. Goswami Tulsidas Ji says, think about it, O good people of the world. Who is stronger, who is greater, Bhagwan Sri Ram or his name? And he says, with great amounts of love for Bhagwan Sri Ram in his heart, he says, to build the bridge across the ocean leading to Lanka, Bhagwan Sri Ram took the help of bears and monkeys. Ram bhalu kapi kataka batora. He formed an army of bears and monkeys to help construct that bridge. The bridge was going to span not just a lake or a river, it was going to span an entire ocean. And if Nal and Neel, these two Vanars, if they did not have the boon that by their touch, with their touch, the stones would float on the water, it would have been very challenging to build that bridge. The logical mind says, Bhagwan Sri Ram, God can do anything. He didn't need anyone to build the bridge. True, but when he comes down to earth, he performs his earthly pastimes. So he takes help from so many bears and monkeys. But his name is so powerful. It is infinitely more powerful than him, because just by taking the shelter of his name, by uttering his name with love, countless souls have gone across the ocean of Maya. Countless souls have gone across the ocean of worldliness, the ocean of Maya. They have reached the divine abode of Bhagwan Sri Ram, Saket Lok, by taking shelter of his name. So the Guru explains to the disciple, the name of Ram is the most powerful thing. So utter the name of Ram, utter the name of God. You see, why is it said that the name is greater than God himself? It's because Bhagwan himself comes down to earth from time to time. जब जब होए धर्म की हानि, बाढ़हि असुर महा अभिमानी, तब तब प्रभु धरि अमित शरीरा, हरहि कृपा निधि सज्जन पीरा. He comes down to earth whenever there's a need for him. But his name is always available to us. We can always take the name of God. We cannot think. No one can think, oh, well, the name of God is not available to me right now, maybe in a few years. No, it's always available. And God is so merciful that He has said there are no rules as far as taking my name is concerned. Everywhere we go in the world, there are rules. You go to somebody's house and you walk in with your shoes and say, excuse me, but please, don't mind, but please leave your shoes outside. Many cultures, Indian culture is one of them, Japanese culture is another, you leave your shoes outside. So please leave your shoes outside. Please, no smoking inside the house. There are rules. You go to somebody's house, you follow the rules. You go to a theater, movie theater to watch a movie. Turn your cell phones off, please. So we must turn our cell phones off. You go from one country to the next and the laws change, so you have to be very mindful of the laws. Now, America and Canada are neighbors. Sometimes you forget, oh, I'm in a different country. They're so similar in so many ways. But the laws are very different. So we have to keep in mind the laws of the country. We have to keep in mind the rules of a household, in a theater, movie theater, in an establishment. You can't come into this restaurant barefoot. You have to have proper footwear. You have to be wearing proper clothes also. You can't wear a t-shirt and torn jeans. Sorry, we don't allow that. So we have to say, okay, I will follow your rules. Devtas in Swargalok, they are very picky and choosy. They have lots of rules that they want us to follow. For people who worship them, there are a lot of rules. You offer this color clothes, not that one. You offer this, but never that. And there are a lot of rules. But the name of God carries no rules with it. Na desha niyamastasmin na kala niyamastatha. Padma Puran says, there are no hard and fast rules concerning the time when you take the name of God. When should I take the name of God? Are there rules? No. You can utter the name of God anytime. How should I be sitting? Which direction should I be facing when I utter the name of God? It doesn't matter. God is in every direction. God is omnipresent. So it doesn't matter which direction you're facing. And I say this because there is a great deal of emphasis placed on facing the east because the sun rises in the east. So we Hindus feel that we must face towards the east. But it doesn't matter. We can face towards the east, west, north, or south. We can take the name of God sitting in any direction, sitting in all directions. So the name of God is truly wonderful. It's truly very, very great. Greater than God because God is not always present on earth, but His name is always here. And let's say that we get news that Bhagwan Sri Ram has come back to Ayodhya. He has really come to Ayodhya, and many people would go there to have his darshan. Many people would not be able to go. What if someone doesn't have the means to go? I don't have any money to buy an air ticket to go to India and to travel to Ayodhya. I can't go. Or physical disability, I just cannot go. There may be some limitation or the other. Not everybody would be able to go. But the name of God is present in every country. It's everywhere. So we don't have to buy a ticket. We don't have to do anything of the sort. It's just available free of charge to everyone. Another point is that when God comes to earth, we become very confused. Because God performs His pastimes, His earthly pastimes, with the help of His Yogamaya, and we watch those pastimes and we say, that can't be God. This can't be Ram. No. Like Parvati ji, when she saw Bhagwan Sri Ram, he was grieving the fact that his wife Sita had been kidnapped by the demon Ravan. Now, Parvati ji is the divine consort of Bhagwan Shiv. So Shiv and Parvati are one. So she has no confusion, but She is showing, she is acting as if she is confused. So we learn a lesson from that. So Mother Parvati sees Bhagwan Sri Ram and she thinks, my husband, Lord Shiv, has said that he's God, but I don't think so. Because God is omnipresent, but I see this Ram in one place at one time. God has no attachments anywhere, but this Ram is extremely attached to his wife. Look how he is suffering due to her absence. And Bhagwan Sri Ram acted really well. He was using his Yogamaya. His pastimes were such that he was asking creatures of the forest, have you seen my Sita anywhere? He was asking the mountains. He was asking the trees. Re vriksha parvatastha girigahanalata vayuna vijyamana ramoham vyakulatma dasharath tanayah shoka shukrena dagdha बिंबोष्ठी चारु नेत्री सुविपुल जघना बद्ध नागेंद्र कांची हा सीता केन नीता मम हृदय गता को भवान केन दृष्टा. Valmiki Ramayan. Sage Valmiki says Bhagwan Sri Ram was grieving so much. He was in such a sense of disarray. Nothing made sense to him after Sita ji went missing, that he was asking the mountains, creatures of the forest, I am Ram and I am suffering due to my Sita missing. So have you seen my Sita anywhere? Tulsidas ji says in the same sentiment, different language. He khag mrig he मधुकर श्रेणी तुम देखी सीता मृगनैनी. He's asking the birds, the beasts, have you seen my doe-eyed Sita anywhere? So God is very confusing when he comes down to earth. His pastimes are very confusing. Parvati ji saw this and she said, no, he cannot be God. And by doing this, she is telling us that we should not be confused. We should not be confused. These are earthly pastimes of God. These pastimes are performed with the help of Yogamaya Shakti, which allows God to remain God on the inside, but perform actions of Maya on the outside. So he is attached, he feels anger, he feels greed, he feels envy, he can perform all sorts of worldly actions, but inwardly he is God, or in the case of divine saints, they are divine on the inside, but their works are looking like their worldly actions on the outside. Now, when God comes down to earth, he is hungry, he's thirsty. So Bhagwan Sri Ram, in his childhood, is asking his mother Kaushalya, माँ खाने को चाहिए, मैं भूखा हूँ माँ, भूख लगी है माँ, प्यास लगी है. He's asking his mother for food and drink, and Lord Krishna, same thing, same Ram, same Krishna, same God, one God, two different names, two different forms. Lord Krishna is asking his mother, Maya mohi de de makhan roti. Maya, won't you give me roti, thick roti with lots of freshly churned butter, with mystery in it, with the sugar candy in it? And we think, how is this possible? He's not supposed to get hungry. He's God. Ajighatsaha, apipasaha. The scriptures say he does not suffer from hunger or thirst. But these are his pastimes. During the exile period of the Pandavas, the 5 brothers, and Draupadi, and then their wife, their mother Kunti, they were all in exile, and sometimes there was nothing to eat. Draupadi had worshipped Surya Bhagwan, sun god, and he had given her a gift of Akshay Patra. This vessel would produce an unlimited supply of food every day, but only till Draupadi had finished eating. After that, the vessel would not give any more food. So Draupadi would naturally be the last one to eat every day. Duryodhan, one of the evil cousin, the main cousin, evil cousin, he knew this, he found this out, and he said to Durvasa Muni, sage Durvasa, Maharaj, you should visit my cousins. You should visit them, and it would be so good for them to have your darshan. And they would welcome you very warmly, and they would feed you. Please go to them. Durvasa Muni went there upon Duryodhan's suggestion, and that too in the evening after Draupadi had finished eating. So Durvasa Muni was not alone. He had hundreds of disciples with him, and they all went to where the Pandavas were, and the Pandavas were pleasantly surprised. They did pranam to Durvasa Muni, and he said, myself and my disciples, we will eat, we will have our meal, but after we go and bathe in the river. So they all went to bathe in the river. In the meantime, Draupadi is thinking, I have already finished eating. What will I offer to them? And she remembered Bhagwan Shri Krishna, and he appeared. Because remember, Draupadi is a true devotee. So Bhagwan is at the beck and call of a true devotee. Draupadi just remembered Shri Krishna, he appeared. She explained her problem. Bhagwan Shri Krishna said, where is the Akshay Patra? Show it to me. Show it to me. Bring it to me. Draupadi took the Akshay Patra, showed it to Bhagwan, and he looked inside. He said, it's not completely empty. There's a little leaf. There was a little spinach leaf there stuck to the bottom of the vessel. Bhagwan Shri Krishna took it out, put it in his mouth, and then he said, Draupadi, I feel so full. My stomach is completely full. And he left. Draupadi thought, he didn't give me a solution to my problem. He just left. Bhagwan left, and Draupadi is nervous. She's thinking, what will happen? Durvasa Muni is known for his anger. He will get very angry with us if we don't give him anything to eat. In all this, Durvasa Muni returned. And then he said to the Pandavas, he said, I was planning to eat, but suddenly after we bathed in the river, I felt very full. My stomach is full. And all my disciples are saying that they are completely full. We cannot eat anything. So we will take your leave. And the Pandavas heaved a sigh of relief. And then Draupadi understood what Bhagwan Shri Krishna had done. He had appeased the hunger of Durvasa Muni and all his disciples. So the one who can satisfy the hunger of not only hundreds of people, but countless people in countless universes, he can satisfy everyone's hunger. Yet he is getting hungry. He's asking for food and buttermilk to drink. That doesn't make sense. So we become confused. But when Bhagwan comes down to earth, we become confused with his leelas, but his name does not confuse us. There's nothing confusing about his name. We utter his name. We are very happily doing so. We're not confused. So for all these reasons, the name of Bhagwan Sri Ram, the name of God, is even greater than God himself. This is why Skanda Puran says, Hare Namaiva 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 Mama Jivanam Kalau Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyatha. In Kali Yuga, The only method that will help you to meditate on God and to unite your mind with God is chanting of the holy name. And this verse also says there is no other way. No other way, no other way. 3 times it says there is no other way. This is the recommended method for Kali Yuga. So when the disciple humbly submits himself to his Guru and says, Guruji, I don't know anything. You please tell me, how can I know God? How can I know myself? How can I know God? Who am I? Who is mine? मैं कौन? मेरा कौन? मैं कौन हूँ? Who am I? I don't know. मेरा कौन? Who is mine? I don't know. I'm confused. Then the Guru teaches the disciple, you are the Atma. You're not this body. Do not identify yourself with this body. You've had countless bodies like this. But your soul, you are the soul. The soul is something that always remains the same. That is your essence. And because you are the Atma, you belong to Paramatma, the Supreme Soul, the soul of all souls. You belong to God. But Guruji, I don't know how to go to God. I don't know. But I shall tell you, says the Guru. You utter his name. भगवान का नाम लो, उनके गुण गाओ, उनकी लीलाओं को गाओ और साथ में उनसे प्यार करो. अपने हृदय में प्यार भर के उनके नाम गाओ, उनके गुण गाओ, उनका गुणगान करो, उनकी लीलाओं का गान करो. आंखों से आंसू बहाओ. The Guru says, chant his names, sing about his virtues, his divine virtues, sing about his pastimes, and fill your heart with love, so much love that you cry when you chant his names. Ramayan says, or you could say Bhagwan Sri Ram says in the Ramayan, Mam gun gavat pulak sarira, gad gad gira nayan bahanira. When you chant my name, you should be feeling goosebumps on your skin. There should be a lump in your throat. Your voice should be choked with loving emotion. And there should be tears falling from your eyes. मेरा नाम इस तरह से लो, इतने प्यार से लो कि शरीर रोमांचित हो जाए, कंठ गदगद हो जाए और आंखों से अश्रुधारा बहे. So Bhagwan Sri Ram himself is saying, take my name in such a way. Take it with so much love in your heart that that love comes out as tears from your eyes. Your heart melts and it comes out, that love comes out of your eyes in the form of tears. The Guru teaches tears are extremely important. Without shedding tears, you cannot attain God. You must love him to such an extent that he becomes your dearest. You love him the most. But how do I shed tears for him? Simply accept him as yours. Simply accept him. How did we come to a point where we started crying for our loved ones? There's a young man and there's a young lady. They didn't know each other. But theirs is an arranged marriage. Yes, they met and they talked for a while. And they said, all right, they said about each other, yes, I agree to this marriage. They got married. They didn't know each other up to this point. And yet now, by thinking, she's thinking, he is my husband. He's thinking, she is my wife. He is my own. She is my own. I am going to get my happiness from him. I'm going to get a lot of happiness from her. So by thinking this way, they fell in love with each other. And when something went wrong with one of them, one became seriously ill, the other is crying. Crying because of the fear. My beloved spouse may die. And if the spouse does die, then there's a lot of tears, a lot of grief. So how do the tears come? You didn't know her 2 years ago. You didn't know her. You got married to her 2 years ago. But I thought about her again and again, that she is my very own. Isn't that what happens? We think about it. We think about a person. She's my very own. He's my very own. That's my own son, my own child. Now, the mother just gave birth, but she's so attached to her child. She cries for him. Even when the child, something little goes wrong with the child, the mother cries. So when we think about a person in the world, a family member, we accept them, that these people are mine, they're my flesh and blood. Then we fall in love with them and we accept that they are our own. And we think again and again, this is my own loved one, this is my loved one, this is my own child, this is my own wife, this is my own brother, my own sister. Then we fall in love, and how much we cry for them. Ramakrishna Paramhans used to say, people shed buckets and buckets of tears for the world. We shed so many tears for worldly people and for the world in general. But he said, who really cries for God? Rare is the individual who cries for God. He's rare. Because rare is the individual who thinks God to be his. Most think the world is mine. I'm good with the world. I belong to the world. Most will never think, main kaun, mera kaun. Who am I and who is mine? We're just going with the flow. Just what everybody else is doing. Bhed chal, it's called in Hindi. Just following what other people are doing. The herd mentality. There's a herd of sheep, and they're on a mountaintop, and they're all grazing over there in the meadows, and one of the sheep falls down the cliff and dies. All the other sheep, you can bet all the other sheep will do the same. That's a herd mentality. Doing what everybody else in the world is doing. Everybody's loving the world. Everybody's running after the world. There's some crazy people who are running after God, but everybody's running after the world. I will go with the majority. The Guru is the one who says, no, don't go with the majority. What if the majority of the people don't know what they're doing? What if majority is wrong? Go with what the scriptures say. Don't go with what most people in the world are doing. Guru is the one who teaches the disciple and who takes the disciple step by step towards true understanding. He's the one who is like a very capable teacher who is a PhD, who has a PhD, but when he teaches his own child, he comes down to the level of the child who is in kindergarten. The child says with pride, I'm in junior kindergarten. And the parent should not say with pride, well, I'm a PhD, so I'm going to teach you at my level. What is the child going to understand? The child will say, I don't understand, Papa. I don't understand anything you're saying. So the parent, the father has to come down to the level of the child. And that is what the Guru does. He comes down to the level of the disciple. Tulsidas ji, for instance, the composer of the divine author of the Ramayan, he says, Kami hi nari piyari jimi, lobhi priya jimidam, तैसे ही नाथ निरंतर लागहु प्रिय मोहिराम. He says, Bhagwan, my Lord, Bhagwan Sri Ram, he's addressing Bhagwan Sri Ram. He says, Bhagwan, my Lord, may I love you in the same way as a very greedy man loves his wealth. And may I love you in the same way as a lustful man loves a woman. We read these words and we say, why should he be talking about greed and lust? This is not nice. It's nasty. What can he do? He has to come down to the level of the worldly person. Because we understand all this. So he has to come down to our level and tell us in a way that we will understand. So the Guru comes down to the level of the disciple. Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj used to often say, while giving a lecture, he could gauge everyone's understanding of what he was saying. So Shri Maharaj Ji would often say, Abhi tak aap log nahi samjhe. How do you know that? How does he know that? He knew what everybody was understanding. Acha, is tarah se samajhiye. You still have not understood, so let me explain it in this way. Then he would say sometimes, abhi tak bhi aap nahi samjhe. Chalo gadhe ki akal se samajhiye. You have not understood? Let me explain it in layman's language. Sometimes people translate that at, let me explain it with according to the level of a donkey. It doesn't mean that. That's a literal translation. The real translation is gadhe ki akal se, in layman's language. Every language is different. So in layman's language, let me explain to you. So the Guru keeps on explaining to the disciple until he has succeeded in explaining what he wants to explain to the disciple. And the Guru does not explain everything from the scriptures because the disciple doesn't need all the knowledge of the scriptures. So the Guru explains just what the disciple needs to know. And he comes down to the level of the disciple. There's a beautiful story I'd like to tell you about in this context. There was once a king and he sent his son, the prince, to the Guru. He said, Guruji, please teach him everything he needs to learn. So the Guruji started teaching the young prince. The king would go every so often and see, how is my son doing? The queen would go to see how their child was doing. One day the king went there and Guruji said, oh, you've come at the right time. I have taught everything, almost everything to your child. There's just one final lesson I'm going to teach. And the king said, may I watch? May I be in the classroom? Sure. Yes. So the king was there, Guru was there, disciple was there. And here's the final lesson. The Guru took a whip, bent, and he started beating that prince. And the king was horrified. He got up from his seat. He said, Guruji, you're beating my child? Guruji said, do not disturb me as I teach that final lesson. This is the final lesson? But what can I do? He's my Guruji too. So the Guru is beating the prince. He's giving him lashes with the whip, and so many lashes. The prince is crying out for mercy. Finally, the Guruji stops beating him. The king said, Guruji, what did my child do wrong? You've beaten him so much. Oh, he's done nothing wrong. He's done nothing wrong, and yet you beat him so mercilessly? King, oh Rajan, oh king, I told you, this was my final lesson to your son. Guruji, please explain. One day your son, who is now a prince, he will become the king. He's the heir to the throne, is he not? Is he not? Yes. So one day he'll become the king after you. And he will have to perform many, many duties as a king. One of those duties would be to punish the offenders. Many cases will come before him. Let's say 2 farmers come in front of him and one of them says, this one stole my goat. And it's proven that this one did steal the goat. There are many witnesses. Now, if your son does not know the pain that you experience when you are beaten, when you're given 10 lashes of the whip, and how much pain you feel when you're given 20 and 25 and 30 and 50 lashes, he'll just say indiscriminately, give him 100 lashes. He has to know the pain of 100 lashes. He should know. That's why I beat him. So he'll be able to do justice. He will not indiscriminately say, 200 lashes, 100 lashes. For what? Stealing a pencil? 50 lashes. He has to do his duty as a king. So I wanted him to know the pain of X amount of lashes. 5 lashes, 10 lashes, 20 lashes, 50 lashes, 100 lashes. He should know so that he may become a good king one day. Why am I telling you this story? It's because the saint, the guru, knows the pain that we suffer from. He knows the pain of every individual soul, the one who has been surrendered to Maya since beginningless time. In one of Maharajji's kirtans, the devotee is saying, Teri sharan kathin tuk, jeev bani dekho Radhe, Govind Govind Radhe. A devotee says very lovingly to Bhagwan, you say to me that I should surrender to you, but do you know how difficult it is to surrender to you? Just become an individual soul and then you'll know. Wear my shoes and you'll know how difficult it is to surrender to you. But you know, the Guru knows. The Guru knows. Because he was once also under the control of Maya. So he knows the pain that is experienced, the attachments of the world. He knows about all that. And so he can guide us properly. He can guide us towards God because he knows what it's like to be away from God. He knows what it's like to be surrendered to the world. And he knows how difficult it is to surrender to God. So he's extremely compassionate and loving. He's very patient. He's the very personification of patience. So the Guru is the one who will teach everything to the disciple. The first lesson he'll teach is, you are the Atma. And you are the most fortunate Atma to be born in a human form of life. This is the best form of life, and for this reason and this reason. And then what is your aim? Understand what your aim is. Did you come here just to get a good education and to get a good job, to make good money and get married and have children and save up some money, spend some money, go on a vacation once in a while and then die one day? Is that what your life is all about? No. That is too trivial. It's too ordinary. You are on a noble mission. Your mission is to know God, to love God, and to reach God. And the Guru will say, okay, now this is how you go about it, step by step. So the Guru is the one who teaches how to attain God, how to do sadhana, by taking the name of God, by taking the shelter of the holy name. But there's so much more that is taught by the Guru, the divine Guru. And before I conclude, I would like to add that I was just saying that the Guru knows what it's like to be an ordinary human. He was once under the control of Maya. So I must add over here that there are two kinds of Gurus. One is Sadhan Siddh, the other is Nitya Siddh. Most are Sadhan Siddh. They were just like us. We are ordinary people. He was an ordinary person and then he surrendered to God. Like Tulsi Das Ji, Sur Das Ji, Mirabai, Kabir Das Ji. They were ordinary until they became extraordinary. So that is a Sadhan Siddha Mahapurush. He practiced devotion and he attained God. But the other is Nitya Siddha Mahapurush. These are rare saints who have never been under the control of Maya. They were always pure. They were always with God. So there are two kinds of saints. Sadhan Siddh, Nitya Siddh. If any one of us, when any one of us becomes God realized, we would always be Sadhan Siddh because we are not Nitya Siddh. We cannot ever be in the category of Nitya Siddh because you have to be in that category eternally. So we can only be Sadhan Siddh, which is not a bad thing. It's something we strive towards. But it's good to know the difference. That there are some souls who were under the control of Maya, then they woke up, they understood who they were and who was theirs, and they surrendered to a Guru and attained God. and they attain God through sadhana, through practice of devotion. There are others who are rare, but they are called Nityasiddh. They were always in the abode of God, and they come down from time to time to help humanity also. So I will leave you right here until tomorrow when we meet here at the same time, and I will, with the help of the Ramayan, and as explained by Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, I will resume this topic of devotion to God as disclosed by the Guru. Boliye Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki Jai. Boliye Shri Raghavendra Sarkar ki Jai. बोलिए श्री यादवेंद्र सरकार की जय. जय जय श्री राधे. जय जय श्री राधे. श्री राधे.